So I just wanted to quickly, or not quickly, but talk about what I feel like, what I've been like realizing this morning and lately. Uh, First off, I'm a pretty horrible person. Um, but the more I start thinking about like my behavior and the behavior of others, and what other people's behavior means to me, and what other people tell me my behavior means to them, and I've just been like reflecting on relationships and social roles that we've created for ourselves. At the same time, I'm also studying psychology, so I'm wondering if that's also playing into a role. Like I'm kind of using what I'm learning and observing things in my own life, while also, reflecting back on myself. Because that's, I think, what drew me to psychology in the first place, was that I wanted to better understand myself by studying what we know about behavior and the human condition, living what on earth experience is. But yeah, so like, been thinking a lot about like social roles that I might not have been the best in the past recently, and in the distant past with other people that have come and gone out of my life. And yeah, it's just, I will probably never get closure for some of the things I did, and will probably not know the extent of the harm that I've done. And I think I carry a lot of shame and embarrassment and guilt, and that's being reflected in how I treat my own wants and desires, and how I treat myself. So yes, there's that was a lot. Okay, I don't know if that made sense to anybody, but that was a lot to unpack. Within me, realizing. And right now I'm just figuring out how to move forward. All right, like you're a bad person, or you were a bad person. Like there's harm that's done that you kind of need to reflect on, take in, and try to act differently. Or yeah, and but moving on, right? Because you can't just. How can you outwardly appear, or outwardly reflect what you know? Maybe. But yeah, I think it's all just really about taking it day by day, meditating, trying to be present in what living feels like. I think sometimes I forget, or I try not to be as conscious as I should be, like be present, being conscious of my own, or being just aware of being. But yeah, I feel like I don't really, like I try to avoid awareness of my own existence, by like just disassociating, like looking at pictures all day, because that's basically what I do. I will scroll through Tumblr and I will just look at pictures, and if I think of something like, oh, I want to look at flowers, or I want to look at like Christmas decorations, or like this aesthetic. I don't know if a lot of people do that, but I do, and that's how I pass my time. I used to, pass it by playing guitar and crocheting, usually crocheting things for myself, and then the guitar, because like I either had to learn a thing, or because I wanted to sing a song and play. But you see, I haven't had a lot of interest in doing those things that I used to like doing, and I really do now that I'm like reflecting and stuff. I really do think that's because like a part of me doesn't feel like I deserve to enjoy my time or like just to do something for myself. I'm not playing guitar for a school or a class anymore. So if I'd be playing for me. And if I'm not really selling my crochet stuff, nor can I think of anybody who'd want to buy something that I crochet right now. I mean, I could like advertise it or like post it on like an Etsy or whatever, but I haven't, then I have to like look up how to do that. And yeah, it's just a whole, I don't really put in a lot of time into things that I actually like for myself. And okay, so this is gonna be a big one. I think it's because I was raised Christian. Okay, I know that's a big one. But yeah, I think because like, okay, so they teach you like vanity and like selfishness. That can definitely lead to a lot of harm and a lot of destruction. But I think I was called selfish growing up. Like I think I'd have like emotional outbursts because I don't know, or I don't know how to regulate my emotions very well. So I like have these outbursts and I do things like to harm myself, like throw up, or I'd have like suicidal ideation, and a lot of the response to that was I was being selfish. I think I internalized that, like selfish, bad. And like, okay, so what does selfish look like? Selfish can be, paying more attention to myself than others. Okay, so that's like the religious aspect of it, right? And then there's the cultural. I think a lot of like Western culture is more individualized. I grew up Hispanic and like in the Hispanic Mexican household where things were kind of done more for the family, for the collective. And I learned this all through classes. I learned all these terms through taking courses. Okay, so that's where I'm coming up with this. But I mean, if you do look into it, it does explain a lot of our like kind of relationships, our disagreements with people, and other people's outlook too. It's like, what kind of cultural lens are people looking at things through? There's so much with human behavior and with people and with ourselves. There's just so much. Like, we're so dynamic. And I think a lot of people are still stuck on sad is bad, happy, good. It's just like, there's all these other factors. You're not going to be completely happy all the time. You're not going to be completely sad all the time. And that's just kind of how it is. But then through like a spiritual lens, I'm kind of realizing, or like I've realized this for the past couple of years, that things just work out. I just didn't have proof, I guess, because I have a family who does watch out for me, and I've kind of made it through life as recklessly as I've lived, unscathed. I haven't been horribly. And there's thunder over there, very distant. I'm going to take that into note and be careful about what I say or put out. I'm pretty sure. I do believe I have karma coming up for me. I do believe it. I'm currently going to try to figure out how to, if there's even a way to cleanse myself karmically or something. Like, I don't know. I'm just so freaking anxious because I'm just realizing that, I haven't really been the best person lately to myself and others. And I think there are very big consequences for that. Right, like you have to live mindfully, live with intention. Your words are spells. Like, like what you say is kind of like a spell. What you put out. It's very important, so you need to be careful. And I think that's why I get so, like, nervous talking, and we're trying to come up with things to say. Well, not come up with things to say, but when I do feel like I have something to say, I have a hard time kind of conceptualizing that and communicating it. What was I gonna say about that? Yeah, no, it's always been a difficult thing. I get so anxious because I could kind of see a lot of different angles where there's other people's reactions, and the consequences for the things I say. Again, this might be because I grew up in a religious household. Maybe. I can see a connection. I also have to think. I keep forgetting that I didn't really have a very good mother and father figure, or kind of representation or model. Like, it was very weird, but I feel I feel indifferent to it. But at the same time, like, when I think about it, like, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, right? Like, you had a mom and a dad, but they couldn't really be out there all the time because they were out focusing on themselves. And it's okay. That's their path, right? That's what they chose to do. I don't know. And that could affect me, I think. I mean, like I said again, I do feel indifferent towards it. Like, I don't consciously have any resentment. I mean, I do question it, and I try not to, like, hold it over. But, like, a little weird, a little weird. Also, yeah, I'm procrastinating right now. I should be doing homework, but I really wanted to say this. Okay, I think I'm gonna end this. All right, bye.